Disney Wish is serving a $5,000 drink in the Star Wars Hyperspace Lounge. $5,000. Do you know how many Galactic Star Cruiser trips you could go on with that money? One. That's right.
That's right. Hop on board Nick's Maxi Jet. This dream jaunt spans 24 days and covers 6 countries.
Swipe right on Bob Chapek.
You know what? Yeah, you are.
What sick fantasies do you people
Second
have?
match.
The crowd is really getting pumped up out there.
There he goes. Oh, wow. Hi, everybody.
One-handed.
Yeah.
One-handed. He's showboat. Oh!
Move.
Age has not always been a
Please.
strong suit with Nick, so we're having trouble keeping track of this time.
Ooh, hello.
This is News Today with WDW News Today. I'm Tom Corliss of WDWNT.com, and here now are the top Disney park stories from around the world for July 8th, 2022, our 15th birthday, in fact. Last week, the board of directors for the Walt Disney Company voted unanimously to extend CEO Bob Chapek's contract 3 more years, despite public dislike for the CEO. The SEC filing now makes the details of the contract extension public. Chapek's contract will now expire on July 1st, 2025. His base salary of $2.5 million has not changed. The long-term incentive award included in the contract has increased from $15 million annually to not less than $20 million annually. Of course, obviously, we're not happy about this news, but he wouldn't be the first person to get renewed and then still lose their job. So only time will tell what's going to happen with this guy. On to our next story. I tore my retina on Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind. It's a real thing, folks. I said I would share the story. Let me start off by saying that there's nothing inherently dangerous about riding the new Epcot attraction other than the common motion sickness that many of you are experiencing. My issue is related to somewhat an existing medical condition, but the spinning, backwards launching Epcot roller coaster most definitely exacerbated the problem. First off, my eyes have always been an issue. I've been wearing glasses all day, every day since I was around 5 years old. My vision has only gotten worse over time. I have a very severe astigmatism. And for those unaware of what that is, it's a condition where I won't get into too much of it, but the eye is elongated. It's a different shape than it's probably supposed to be. And because of that, I am somewhat prone to retinal detachments or retinal tears. Now, you probably think a retinal detachment, people hear that, they think some vein or something in your eye has ripped off. It's actually this sort of lattice in the back of the eye that just sort of collapses in. That's a detachment. And then there's a retinal tear, which is sort of the beginning of a retinal detachment, which is very serious because it can lead to blindness very commonly. So it's a severe thing to the point of which in my other eye, the eye that is not red on the show today, I had a retinal detachment that I wasn't even aware of. I noticed a couple of years ago, I was on Rock and Roller Coaster, and I noticed after I got off some flashes in the dark, not after I got off, but at the end, you know, you sit in that dark tunnel a little bit, and I noticed a flash there, and I was like, oh, that's weird. Didn't think anything of it. Went to the eye doctor. They're like, oh, have you been noticing flashers or floaters? And I'm like, nope, haven't really. I didn't even think about that flash I saw at Rock and Roller Coaster. And it turns out, without me knowing, I had a retinal detachment in that eye. Well, because the specialist, the eye doctor, and the surgeon that I spoke to when I had the retinal detachment in the right eye, which I did have surgery for, I had them put what they call a scleral buckle, which is what it sounds like. It's a silicone band that goes around your eye and stays there and squeezes the back of it for the rest of your life. It's a real thing. So this time, of course, in the process of covering a new attraction, we go on them a lot. And in the preview process, we do that too. The other reason is somewhat selfish. It's because we know once these things open to the public, well, generally they're hard to get on. And so obviously the first pass holder preview, the very first one, they let you ride as much as you wanted. Then I think by the time you got to the second pass holder preview, they were starting to limit people at that point. And then the D23 preview, well, they let us ride as much as we want. And I think I rode 14 times that day. Somewhere, I think around opening, by the time I got to opening weekend, where we did have the resort reservation and we were doing lightning lane, so we were riding twice a day. By the end of that weekend, I noticed what the doctor and surgeon and specialist had brought up before, the flashes and the floaters. I noticed an increased number of floaters in my left eye. And at night, when I would turn off the light in the bedroom, go to bed, I would notice, like, at times that flash of light. So I became immediately nervous, as those are the things they told me are the signs of a retinal detachment. So I got an appointment. So the eye doctor's like, yeah, I think you have a retinal tear and not a detachment. I went to the specialist, and they were like, yep, that's a retinal tear. We want to fix that. And then they shot a laser in my eye to repair it, which doesn't have much of a recovery time. I was told, essentially the next day I could go back to doing all I usually do, which includes riding roller coasters for a living, which, between all the 5 or 6 eye doctors, specialists, and surgeons and everyone I've seen, about half of them think that my career riding theme park rides has attributed to the speed at which my retina detached or tore. And some of them are like, I don't know, it would have happened otherwise. So there's some debate in the medical community as to what I've done to my eyes. But nonetheless, there is no doubt that, going through the G-forces of that launch and the spinning that occurs probably, I think, at the launch portion as well, that's absolutely what did it. I didn't ride anything else. I didn't really do anything else in that period that could have possibly, and I noticed it that opening weekend specifically. So, those medical warning signs outside of attractions, sometimes they have a coverall, which is like in other medical conditions. And sometimes you don't even know you have them. So my recommendation is, if you go to a theme park and notice something's a little off after you ride a ride, go see a doctor. What's funny is, since we posted this story on the site, so many people have reached out with similar situations, which I thought I was the only one, but someone reached out and said they had a retinal detachment after they rode the Mummy. Another person said they had it on Mission Space. Someone had a different eye condition on another ride. So that being said, that's a fair amount of people. So it's worth saying, again, theme park rides are a lot of fun, but you never know, right? You don't know what sort of conditions you have, and I didn't know anything was wrong with my eyes. I didn't know that I was heading towards a retinal detachment before Rock and Roller Coaster did it, or the tear before Cosmic Rewind did it. So just something to keep in mind, something to note. And remember, like, if we want to really flash back, 20 years, Mission Space, when that first opened, let's remember people passed away on that ride because they had medical conditions they were not aware of. Those were undiagnosed medical conditions those people died from on Mission Space. So just something important to keep in mind. Not something that happens to many people, but enough of us, and those of you watching the show probably go to theme parks a fair amount like I do. So just something to think about. It seems the major updates to the Jungle Cruise at the Magic Kingdom are now complete, with the addition of a few extra effects and the return of the gorillas in the gorilla camp scene. The biggest changes are within that trashed camp. There's now an explosion in the water next to the beach before your boat pulls up. The explosion is similar to one at Disneyland that happens in a different scene of that Jungle Cruise. It seems to have even the same sound effect here in Florida. The gorillas have returned to the tent to cause chaos. They have been missing since the overhaul of the ride began last year. The gorillas have been messing with crates of ammunition, hence the explosion, and some props float in the water in front of the campground, including a hat and oil tanks. So check it out. It's a great addition. I've always loved the various effects they added in the 2000s on the Disneyland Jungle Cruise. It's nice to see some of them trickling into the Florida version. News Today is brought to you by the Sunshine Flyer, the new 1920s rail-themed transportation from Orlando International Airport to the Walt Disney World Resort hotels. Start your vacation experience as soon as you step off the plane with motor coaches that create the atmosphere of old-fashioned passenger cars. No two vehicle designs are the same. And just in time for summer, kids ride free. If you book your trip now through July 31st, you can enjoy free tickets for kids and reduced pricing for adults. Tickets do not need to be used during this time frame either. To reserve, visit sunshineflyer.com. The sign for Jedi Training Trials of the Temple has been removed from the outside of the stage next to Star Tours at Disney's Hollywood Studios. Jedi Training has not taken place since the parks closed in March of 2020 due to COVID-19. The signs which show times previously sat in the planter next to the stage. Walt Disney World has not made any announcements about the future of the show in the past 2 years. It's possible the experience will never return or it is being reimagined. The webpage for the experience no longer works. For the first time in forever, a Frozen sing-along celebration will be closing for refurbishment this summer. The stage show at Disney's Hollywood Studios will close on August 22nd. No reopening date has been announced yet, though it is currently scheduled to be closed only through September 12th. It's the last date in the park calendar as of recording. It's unclear how long the refurbishment will extend, but it is at least confirmed that the special holiday finale is returning, so it would be safe to assume that by the holiday season, the show will be back. I assume it's probably not even a full month-long refurbishment. We'll see. We'll let you know in the next few days when we get an end date. Guests can experience the magic of the Walt Disney World resorts from horse-drawn carriages, which can now be conveniently reserved through the My Disney Experience app. The excursions are available at Disney's Fort Wilderness Resort and Campground and as well Disney's Port Orleans Riverside. The rides cost $55 and include seating for 4 adults or 2 adults and 3 children. Guests should make reservations for the horse-drawn carriages, especially during the peak season. Reservations can be made up to 60 days in advance. All reservations are subject to cancellation should the weather prove dangerous. Fort Wilderness Resort and Campground Carriage Ride takes you through the cypress forests where guests may be able to spot Florida natives such as deer and armadillos. The adventure starts at Crockett's Tavern and is approximately 25 minutes long. At Port Orleans Riverside, the carriage ride starts its guests at Riverside Levy Marina before taking them down the classic Southern paths on a leisurely 25-minute ride. More entertainment and character experiences continue to return to Walt Disney World, and just this week, we had the delight of visiting Disney's Fort Wilderness Resort and Campground to see the return of Chip 'n Dale's Campfire Sing-Along. Campfire is held near Meadow Trading Post, where you can find individual supplies for s'mores. You can also stop by P&J Southern Takeout and pick up a s'mores kit. Campfire schedule is posted next to a sign showing photos from some of the earliest campfires at Fort Wilderness. Campfires are lit at 7:30 p.m. and stay lit until 9 p.m. Sing-along begins at 8 p.m. and lasts 20 to 30 minutes. It's followed by a movie under the stars, and the schedule changes weekly. The movie will be shown on the projector screen you see here, so you can set up camp for the night, or at least until the movie is over. The benches are metal, so you can bring a blanket to snuggle up and enjoy the shows. The cowboy leads a sing-along with classic tunes like She'll Be Coming Round the Mountain When She Comes, Ghost Riders in the Sky, and Take Me Home Country Roads. It's a relatively newer song than the other two. Chip 'n Dale joined in and danced the hokey pokey, the hand jive, and freestyle. After the show, Chip 'n Dale come out to visit with the crowd. You can check out a video of the experience right here on our channel. Flavors of Florida has returned to Disney Springs this summer, and Deluxe Burger is celebrating with 2 new garage-inspired burgers, plus an orange bird shake. The burgers are in fact named for the orange and lime garages. The Orange Bird Shake is $7.50. It's vanilla gelato blended with orange syrup, whipped cream, and sprinkles. The Orange Garage Burger is $12.49 and features 2 pressed signature blend patties, citrus braised pork belly, orange onion jam, pepper jack, and lettuce. The Lime Garage Burger at $12.49 is 2 pressed signature blend patties, citrus braised pork belly, lime avocado crema, pepper jack, fried green tomatoes, and lettuce. The review on our website, a video review here on our channel. Speaking of that event, we stopped by Everglazed Donuts and Cold Brew to try out their offerings, which include the Citrus Dream Donut and the Orange Lemonade. The Citrus Dream Donut is $6.50. It's an Everglazed donut with orange creamsicle glaze, vanilla buttercream, and candy orange. As usual, the classic Everglazed donut is fluffy and light. Meanwhile, the Orange Lemonade is $6.50. It's lemonade with orange juice cold foam. The review again on our site and in the video. Last but not least, Swirls on the Water is serving up a new Orange Bird-inspired Dole Whip cone. When we visited the kiosk, there was no signage, but they did have it available. Cheesecake and strawberry Dole Whip and the Lightyear cone are all not currently available anymore. The Orange Bird Dole Whip is $5.50. It's soft-serve Dole Whip orange, topped with creamsicles and an Orange Bird garnish. Coming to both Disney Springs and the downtown Disney District is a Zombies movie series themed dance party. Zom-Beatz Bash is a dance-filled event featuring music from some favorite Disney Channel films, including Zombies and Zombies 2. Guests can celebrate the newest edition of the series. Bet you didn't guess this name, Zombies 3, which premieres July 15th on Disney Plus and August 12th on the Disney Channel. Zom-Beatz Bash is a 20-minute stage show event for guests of all ages. Try out some zombie dance moves, sing along to your favorite songs, or snap a pic with a Zombies 3 inspired photo op during the DJ-hosted event. Come in costume and bam to the music. This summer, you'll have a chance to get in on the fun at both Disneyland and Walt Disney World. The Zom-Beatz Bash is at Downtown Disney Live in Anaheim and also at Disney Springs. It'll be at the Marketplace stage from August 5th through the 14th, my birthday. For the absolute latest Disney Parks news, head on over to WDWNT.com and follow us on all your favorite social media platforms. This program is brought to you by our official travel agent sponsor, the Vacationeer, the engineers of your next magical vacation. Sit back and let their team of vacation planning experts craft your family's next trip. The best part, their services are free. Visit WDWNT.travel for details. If you're enjoying the show, be sure to like this video, subscribe to WDW News Today on YouTube for more great content, and click the bell for notifications. Also, be sure to hit select all notifications so you never miss an episode of the show. Also, be sure to subscribe to WDWNT TV, our new channel, the home now of WDW News Tonight, Boxed In, Park Center, and more. And in fact, we had a wild 3-hour News Tonight special. We had some technical difficulties, but still a lot of fun. We had our first ever theme park electric wheelchair rodeo. We had the match game, a lot of good stuff. Go check it out on the other channel if you like some fun and not just some news. For the worldwide leader in Disney Parks news, though, this is Tom Corliss saying enjoy the rest of your today and have a great, big, beautiful tomorrow.
From WDWNT, the worldwide leader in Disney Parks news, this is Park Center. Join us each week for news and discussion topics from the Disney and Universal theme parks around the world. We cover the top stories in a quick, concise, and fun format. Then our panel breaks down and debates some of the biggest issues and what they mean for us, the Parks fans. From the latest announcements to openings and delays to scandals and snacks and merchandise and more, we cover it all in 90 minutes. Join us live every Sunday night at 8 p.m. Eastern on youtube.com/WDWNT or watch episodes on demand anytime. Or subscribe to the audio version of the show on your favorite podcast app.